Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk about students not being able to speak English at universities in the UK. These are going to use certain experiences that I've had teaching at university levels. They're going to use experiences of students that I've met while studying at university level, and also kind of general policies and loopholes that universities tend to use to actually include students who can't speak well enough English into their university. I'm not going to use the university that I go to. I'm not going to use any students' names because I think that that's a little bit wrong, and it's a global issue. It's not only an issue with my university. It's not only an issue with people that I've met. It's a widespread national issue, and so I don't think it's very fair just to use my university's name, and I don't think it's fair to use the student's name because I don't think it's right me talking about them behind their back. So yes, I'll just get on with the video now. So there are English requirements that you need to meet in order to get on a university course at British University. However, what universities will do is they have a loophole. So what this loophole is that they will get students to go on a student visa for an English course. So they'll go on a student visa for an English course, like a year English course at the university. But at the same time as doing that English course, they'll also do a degree of some description, like a degree in business, a degree in maths, a degree in any other subject. One of the issues with this is that these students don't speak sufficient enough English. There was a student that I met on a course, and this student basically couldn't answer any of the teacher's questions. So the teacher would ask them questions about what their motivations were, what they wanted to do as a career, and these were actually questions that we needed to write down and put in a 1,500 word essay. If the student's unable to say what their motivations are, they're unable to say what their career goals are, then how are they going to be able to write a 1,500 word essay writing down their career goals and motivations? They're not going to be able to do it. And it's really sad for the teacher as well, because as a university teacher myself, I want my students to do really well. I want them to get 2-1s. I want them to get firsts. How are they going to meet that standard if they're not able to speak sufficient enough English? It's just completely ridiculous. And even if you do meet the English requirements for a course in the UK, you're able to know a certain amount of grammar, like you know what a choir is and that kind of thing. It doesn't mean that you know the technical language in your subject. So for example, I met someone on a maths course that I was doing, and this particular student was very, very good at maths. He was a Chinese student, and he was very, very good at maths. However, he wasn't able to, he didn't understand the questions because he didn't understand what integration was. He didn't understand what imaginary numbers were. He didn't have the vocabulary to grasp the mathematics questions. So he answered the questions wrong because he didn't understand enough English. And that's the point. I don't think that even if you do meet the requirements for an English course, if you're a foreign student, you should think, well, do I know enough English for this mathematics course? And if I don't, maybe I need to take an extra year to do the foundation degree and learn enough English and learn enough technical language to actually do it. Don't jump into something that you know that you're not qualified enough to do. And I mean, I'm a British student, and I had this experience at university as well. I went on to a computing and mathematics course, and they were all talking completely over my head because they were talking about computing stuff that I just didn't understand because I hadn't done an A-level in computing. That doesn't mean that I can't do the computing course eventually, but I would need to take a bit more time to learn that computing stuff just like foreign students might need to take a little bit more time to learn the technical language involved in a maths course. Okay, so my second issue is how teachers are treated when their students don't meet the par. Now, it's just completely ridiculous. I had a friend who was told by saying she had a student that couldn't speak English as well, and she told her manager that this student couldn't speak English sufficiently enough to do the course, that they couldn't answer any of her questions, their writing was not up to par, they couldn't, they weren't really able to write properly, and she was told she wasn't being culturally sensitive enough. And now that's completely ridiculous. She did everything in her power to try and get the student to talk. She had other students of the student's ethnicity talking within the classroom. She offered, she said, oh, anyone, if you've got any questions about the lecture, come up, or if you want to talk to me about anything, come up to the front of the class. She did everything that she could to try and encourage the student to talk. And by saying that the student didn't have sufficient enough English to do the course, she was told she wasn't being culturally sensitive enough. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's just it seems like these universities want teachers to just pretend that the student knows enough English to do the course, that pretend that the student is qualified enough to do the course. And I don't see how that helps anyone. It doesn't help the student get a better grade. It doesn't help the teacher, because if she knows the student's failing the course because they don't know enough English, I don't understand how that helps the student either. The student needs to learn enough English and then come back and do the course. I don't know why, being told you're not culturally sensitive enough, or someone being told they're not culturally sensitive enough, or saying a student can't do the course because they don't know enough English is just completely ridiculous. And I've been on a number of teacher training courses as well, and it seems to be kind of a currently like a theme that in these teaching training courses, they talk about cultural sensitivity a lot, and they say, oh, if a student doesn't talk to you, then it might be something about their ethnicity. They could be, Chinese, and they could just not be used to talking to the teacher. Okay, but then at some point you're going to know that they don't know enough English to do the course. You're going to know by looking at their writing. You're going to know by the fact that they don't come up to you at the end of the lesson and talk to you, or they don't, when you hear them talking to other students, they're not talking well enough. It's just ridiculous saying that. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. And it seems that the university just wants you to keep quiet about students not being able to speak English. And they want you to keep quiet, and they want you to not mention anything so that they can get more money out of these students. And I just think it's exploitative, to be honest. Anyway, thank you for watching this. And yeah, feel free to subscribe and like this channel if you like it. Bye guys.